Good afternoon, class. Now that you're coming in from recess, I would like you to all come in and take a seat. We're about to start our social studies time, so I need everyone to get out their planner and turn to the section where we write our objectives because we have a new objective to write. Okay, now that everyone's settled, I'd like you to look up here and we're going to read our objectives together. I can create a map that shows places, explains a route home, and narrates what I see as I describe the community around me in my map to my table partners. I want you all to take a minute to write that down in your planners, and once you get done, we're going to go over it. Okay, now that everyone's done, I want you to make sure that you've underlined the verbs in your objective. Our first verb that we have is create. And what does it mean to create? So we can look at it and it says, I can create a map. So if we're going to create a map, that means we're going to draw it. And we have to remember all the features for our map that we've learned. We have to have a legend and a key and a title to our map and a compass rose. So we have to remember all those things when we create or draw our map. So the next part is we have, I can create a map that shows places. So that shows places. Our next verb is shows. So on our map, we want to show a place. So we want to point it out and make sure that the people reading our map know what it is. That's what it means when we show places on our map. Our next verb is explains a route home. So what does it mean to explain something? Yes, that's what it means. It means to lay out where something is. So you're going to explain it and how to get to it. So explains a route home. So route might be a new word for some of us. What does route mean? Anyone know? Okay, that's fine. So route means how you get somewhere. So if we're going to make a route home, that means we need to give step-by-step directions on how to get home. So our next part is, and narrates what I see. Narrates. We've heard this in our reading time with our narrative stories and our narrator. So what do you think it means to narrate? To narrate, yeah, it sort of means to tell a story. So we want to narrate what we see, and as I describe the community around me in my map. So our last verb is describe. And so with all our other verbs in this objective, we can connect it back to describe, because by creating a map and showing places on our map and explaining a route to our house and narrating what we see around us, we're describing the whole community that we live in. And today we're going to do that with our table partners. And each person is going to get a map out and get a piece of paper out and draw your map of how to get to your house. And you might think there may be multiple ways to get to your house. And then show different places and explain how you get there. And then you're going to narrate and describe to your table partners your map and what you see as you go home. So let's make sure we have that written in our journals, in our planners, so we can get the lesson started.